And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics.
Uno, two, tres, four.
Oop, wrong one. There we go. And going to start the music, and there we go. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. We are back for another Animondays segment. Episode 14, I believe now? Yes, I believe I put 14 in the actual descriptions. So, we are on episode 14 now. Hello. Hi, Cucumber. Hello. How does one become a sentient cucumber, I always wonder. Wait, hold up. I saw you on the side, but oh my god, is Streamlabs fucking up right now? Ugh, give me a sec. Tools, overlays, chat box.
Got this, Kazuma.
What is it like? There it goes. Yeah, I guess I do have to have Stream Elements open for it to work. All right. You are now showing up on screen. That's cool. Nice. Hello. Okay, so we have a few good, interesting topics. Nothing crazy to talk about today. Well, I guess it's relative. It can be. It depends on what the discussion will go. But so, first thing first, I want to kind of go over this very quick. Sorry I wasn't available last week, guys, or last week. I did make a vague post saying hey, something came up, so I can't stream all week, gotta cancel them. And the reason being is I got a slight ear infection. My doctor says it was probably due to cat hair or dust getting in my earbuds. Not my earbuds per se, my headphones. Because last week I was playing a lot of fuck, what game was I playing? I was playing a lot of an online game that required me to have my headphones on. Use drop in radioactive water and evolved into a monk. Oh, so it's not like a Rick and Morty thing where you became you got zapped by a machine that made you into a fucking cucumber doji. That shit blew up so hard, and I'm so glad Rick and Morty is still pretty popular, but it is not anywhere close to the relevancy as it used to have. And I could probably take up to the fact that like Dan Harmon and them is no longer part of the actual series. So it's just like all the writers he kind of left behind and who's ever been hired new. And it's not that Rick and Morty was bad by any means. I think the show really started to drop off around season 4 for me. But anyways, yeah. So I had a slight infection. I couldn't really. My doctor didn't want me to wear headphones, and of course I wear headphones when I do this stuff.
Oh yeah, wait. Since you mentioned Rick and Morty, I remember some video that showed up on my feed that was related to the incident that happened nearly a decade ago. Holy
Cute
shit,
Cooper review.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It was about people like fighting over the Szechuan sauce.
That happened a while ago, though.
That was like almost a decade ago. I
Yeah.
remember it when it happened.
Yeah, the Szechuan stuff happened like a decade, like a while ago. So I don't like you. Oh wait, so did you see like a video talking about it?
I saw videos of people lining up for it, and then I saw the infamous one where this like Asian dude is like at McDonald's, and then he has like they have Szechuan sauce, and he like freaked out. He's like, "I'm
What the fuck? No, yeah, no, I remember when that shit all like blew up and like everyone was like fucking like, I need my Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, people are fighting over a fucking sauce.
No, hon, you got to remember like like people have fought over for less. Like, do you remember like My Little Pony was like really big and like they Jed 4 and like they did the McDonald's Happy Meals with the pony figures as like the toy, so you can get like Rarity, Rainbow Dash. You get like the main 6, and I think there was like I think it was Spike also. But like some people would actively go to McDonald's and like did you just see the infamous video of the guy who's like, I didn't get the Rarity toy. You guys look good with the Rarity toy. Can you? Did you ever see that? Yeah, look, and then that guy like started doing like the actual voice work. Like he was like playing with the toys, recording himself playing with them, and he was doing the actual voices for like Applejack and like Rarity and stuff. And I don't lie, his posh like Rarity and his like Southern Applejack weren't bad, but like this is like being filmed at a local McDonald's.
Even the McDonald's employee like were just like looking at the camera looking very awkward.
Man, he better be thankful. Like places like Waffle House don't do that type of like promotional shit.
Oh man.
No, yeah, Waffle House is like infamous for that type of crazy stuff.
But Rick and Morty is like it's like infamous for
Yeah, no, the Szechuan Sean is infamous because literally the meme, like Rick is like recanting like memories of his past,
he is, yeah.
and he like starts talking about the Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, because he goes to a McDonald's in his brain, and he's like he has to get the Szechuan sauce from his brain because it's the only way he can get it is from his memory.
I want waffle fries, dude. Waffle fries kick it. I don't care what anyone says. Like some people is like, oh no, steak fries, the pepper jack fries from like fucking the peppered fries from like Checkers are great. Like don't get me wrong, but like if I want me some good fries, I go to myself my favorite place. I go to the homophobic chicken, fucking Chick-fil-A. That shit is delicious. I love me some homophobic chicken.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love the waffle fries there.
It's delicious. It's good. But yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite fast food fries.
I like Covers. Covers has been pretty good lately. I haven't had as much.
I feel like you can't beat nothing with fucking McDonald's fries.
No, I see McDonald's fries are very plain. They're not bad, but like it depends on like how soon and McDonald's have actually been doing this a lot more often, but like the older the grease, the better the fries. But because like McDonald's has become so much more like health conscious over the past few years, like they change out the actual fry oil like constantly now. So the fries have like this kind of very bland, slightly salted taste. They're like along the lines of like Burger King fries now, which I just don't care for.
I feel like they still taste the same.
Maybe Texas they're a little bit more lax with the oil since they reuse that shit for everything. Like that's how they run their fucking cars is oil. You know how them Texans are. Fuck is Covers? I don't think Covers is actually no, let me see. Covers is a fast food chain that does great milkshakes. Covers
I thought
locations.
you never been to Sonic.
I've been to Sonic. We have a few Sonics here. Yeah, looks like Covers is only segmented in the southern east side, so Florida and Alabama, and that is it.
No,
Jesus.
we do have Culver's locations over here
Oh, then how come I'm not seeing that on the map? Here,
We
let me.
do. It's just the ones around my area.
Wait, why did it only give me the covers in fucking like Alabama? What the fuck? Let's see.
Yeah, there's no.
International, the
There's no
project
cover.
dynamic retrieves visually located data, covers the date, each location. Over 900 locations. Okay. Yeah, here. Okay, yeah. So there's some places in Texas that has them. It is mostly looks like it's around Florida and the upper northeast side of the United States. So yeah, Culver's is great. It is a fast food chain that does like I would say it's like slightly above what most people would see as like fast food quality. They do great shakes. They have great like fucking like burgers that you can customize. It's delicious. I love them. Again, people go for their shakes mostly, but like they have a great selection of chicken food, chicken fingers and
Ever
stuff.
tried Dave's hot chicken?
Huh?
You never tried Dave's hot chicken?
No, I never had dates. If they make milkshakes, do they bring all the boys to the yard? Damn straight, they bring all the boys to the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I never really cared much for that song. I only find it funny because of the fucking Family Guy meme. But anyways, we are getting tremendously off topic. Ooh,
Just that
those are like
the
sliding
Rick and
upwards. Let me
Morty
fix that
fan
very
base.
quick. Let me just
Just that Rick
fix
and
that
Morty
very
fan base
quick
is
right
gonna
there.
go to a whole new level.
That should fix it, I think. All right. Anyways, so we are getting tremendous off
Oh
talk.
yeah,
We have
have you ever tried the Szechuan sauce before?
no, I never tried the Szechuan sauce because it wasn't. I know it came back because of Rick and Morty, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of McDonald's. When I do eat McDonald's, it is like every so often, and I usually always get the same order.
I did actually tried it back in high school.
Oh,
It was just
well, I
it was
mean, like
decent.
again, I want to say the Szechuan sauce was probably good or okay, but like again,
It was okay.
it gained popularity
It was,
because of the meme. Like it wasn't like
yeah,
I doubt it
yeah,
was like the best fucking thing in the award.
yeah. Like I tried it. I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but it's definitely very overhyped.
Well, yeah, again, all for the meme. It was all for the meme. But yeah, anyways,
Yep.
so we got a few things to cover today. The first one is I thought it'd be funny, and I figured Bruder was gonna bring it up because he probably saw it on X. But it seems like one of my favorite animes has been confirmed for season 5.
Oh hell
I just don't understand.
no!
I just don't understand. Like this is I have never seen a series get confirmed so fast for a new season than Rent a Girlfriend. Legitimately, it's all I ever hear. Like literally, if you click on this main like post, right, all these people are just like it's looking like here. Literally, Rent a Girlfriend sitting at peak, Miss Nagato, Horimita, Komi, like all these series that people love to death, and then at the top for some reason Rent a Girlfriend. It just makes no sense.
It's funny how you're talking about Red Girlfriend. I'm mentioning it first, and
I,
I'm not because when I mention it, you're
I know,
mentioning
I
it.
know. That's why. Like, I'm gonna beat Bruto to the punch. I know he's gonna mention it because he probably saw it on X. Because all I've seen on my timeline is, oh, we had a girlfriend, season 5 confirmed. I'm like, why? Like 100 girlfriends you must
Yeah,
date, whatever the fuck, and
I'm
Rent a
not gonna
Girlfriend.
lie. I still have that Shizuku plush, and I try to hide it. Or use it at least to stack it with my other plushes.
What the fuck? But you know, like again, people are just like saying,
At that time, I thought it was a good anime, but nah, looking back,
well, again, I don't hate. I don't mind or care if anyone's like, "Oh, I love this anime." I'm like, "That's cool. That's good for you. You're a good little special boy. You can sit in the corner with all the other special little boys." But like, my thing is like when I ask people, "What is it actually about
no,
this series that they?"
but when the series progressed, that's when I really started to become a lot more dumber.
No, see, again, that's what people tell me. Is like, well, in the later like arc, is it doesn't really get that good. I'm like, bro, so you're telling me like when you watched season 1, you thought that shit was peak or good, and they're like, yeah, I thought it was fine. I'm like, you thought it was fine. Does fine warrant 5 seasons? Usually, fine warrants okay. You maybe get a second chance, but then after that, you're kind of done. like again, like there's a series out right now that's just confirmed for a season. Like there's an anime me and my roommate love called Trapped in an Otome Game. The life of a mob is difficult. Like this dating sim is one of the funniest animes I've watched in a long time, and that just got confirmed for its season 2 last year, and it's just barely about to get aired. That took over 5 to 6 years to get like confirmed for a season 2. Rent a Girlfriend got confirmed for season 5 within a month. This is what I mean by it's not fair. And again, like these people, in case I didn't even care about the series, but the hate caught my attention and made me want to see why it's so hated. But I watched it and I liked it. Oh my god, I hate you, Luis Reisman. Oh fuck you. Wait, what are you?
Does Chibi
Espanol.
I think he does.
Huh? I think
Does Chibi like
I can't tell. That man like posts too many trolly posts. It seems like he doesn't mind it. Like he watches it probably. Like again, Chibi also likes 100 Girlfriends, like that anime. And again, that anime is not atrocious, but it's not amazing either. Like Chibi, I feel like you have to be like. Again, the reason why Chibi doesn't like One Punch Man seasons 2 or 3 isn't because of the story; it's because of the animation. I would argue the reason.
like I said, I remember back in my animation class in high school before my animation teacher did committed such heinous things. I
Okay,
remember he was
that was
doing
dark.
yeah. But yeah, I remember where we were in class and then when we were doing our work, he was like talking about the new season of One Punch Man. He said like, yeah, the animation style there's like a lot of scenes where the art style changes.
Yeah, season 2 definitely was a downgrade, and then season 3 was an even more of a downgrade. And I think it has been confirmed that season 4 is coming out, but I think it's the same team that did season 3, so not many people are really excited for it. And again, there's just so many great fights that happen, especially with what's going to be happening in season 4. Like people are just like really displeased the fact that the same animation studio from season 3 is going to be continuing the series. But yeah, so I just thought that was a little funny thing to go talk about because again, y'all know my feelings on this, and I just can't believe that this is getting another fucking season. But anyways, to kind of move on to more of a bigger topic, and I guess it kind of fits for like the actual like we're still in the month of June, so we're still in yay Pride. And the reason why I bring that up is because
No pride.
I wanted to talk about this.
No,
So
no.
this manga called cross dressing. I think I turned my childhood friend into a girl is getting an anime adaptation. Now this manga isn't particularly a long one. Wait, what'd you say?
Excited for it.
I think it's cute. I think it's cute. It's a really cute anime. I mean, a really cute manga. I liked from what I was reading. Um, there's another cross dressing manga I would prefer. Huh?
Do you consider this boys' love?
Well, yeah, it is boys love.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's
So
again
what's
like
the
it.
cross-dressing?
Uh, it's,
The only boys' love I watch would be if it stars a cross-dresser or a femboy.
well, I've seen some boys love series. The problem is like the reason why I don't typically like Yuri or Yaoi animes is a couple of different reasons, but some of the main reasons, one is for some reason in most yaoi and yuri animes, when you have the couple kind of like interact with their friends and family in that world, for some reason every possible character they meet either A is gay, B bisexual, or C closeted gay. It's very strange that every interaction they have with another friend, another character, or another parent is somewhere along the lines of that, excluding some parents that are usually like, well, we're a straight couple, you know, like there's your mom and dad. But like that's one little gripe I have with it. It would make a cute anime series. No, yeah, that's what we're going at. It's actually it got confirmed to get an anime. So yeah, Dumpster, it's getting an anime. I would assume it's gonna get a 12 episode one since that seems to be the actual like market for most like starting out animes, and it's not a long series. At least it's still going on, I think, but it's not particularly a long series, so it could probably have just like one season to be done. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so of course this got confirmed for an anime, and some people were excited, like of course like me, like Bruno, and everyone else. And then of
Yep.
course we had to have some people come out and say some of the fucking stupidest things possible. And it's always the same group. And I don't ever really like giving these people attention, but it's really annoying when, because we're in the month we're in, and it's become so much more apparent online that these people just cannot allow others to be, again, from the people who like say, "Oh, we must show diversity in what we do," and blah 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 blah.
But
I'm like,
yeah, but in reality, they're very hostile.
it's not even just the fact that they're hostile. Is that
When you have people that don't knee jerk to their shit.
it's
I'm a
not it's
blind
it's not,
man
it's not
that
even just that. It's
see, look, I'm a blind man, and I don't even knee jerk to this shit, dude.
but,
That's why I don't even want to be part of this shit.
again,
I
it's
don't.
it's not even just that. Like, again, look at this. So another transit gen, we've been eating good immediately. This isn't trans. They're not trans. They're cross dressing. It's in the fucking title.
Yes. Exactly.
And then, like, you got Mr. Mixed Spoons over here. Sad that the manga clearly points out that the femboy, but not a trans girl. But oh well, what can you do? I'm so sorry that you're disappointed in the fact that the actual crossdresser is a crossdresser.
That motherfucker posts nothing but communist cope.
But again, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
They're like literally the fucking. It's like literally the alt right version of a alt right femboy.
well, yeah, but again, this is what I'm saying. Like, look at these. Trans here. Character describes themselves as non-binary in several chapters, include the beach chapter. Led to the specific swimsuit. Nobody cares. Question: if the localized version of the original, because I remember it being problem the localized version, referring to the cross-dresser as trans female when the original. Again, original Harry described their identity as not really specific, not easily slotted, or male and female. I know what they're talking about, and no, they're wrong. Like, the character was talking about, I don't really see myself either one way or another, despite me knowing that I'm born a boy. And they again acknowledge that, yeah, I don't. It's one of those things where, like, would you prefer if I called you a boy or a girl? And they're like, nah, I don't really care one way or another, but I'm a guy regardless. Like, that's how they put it. That's what they're saying. But again, people are gonna transcribe that and says like, oh, this means they're non-binary. I'm like, no, that doesn't mean what you think it means. And then generally is incredibly suspicious what kind of the show it looks like. Again, looks like fetishism.
These fucking. It's always these people, man. It's
Well,
always.
again, because they want more characters that, like, there's why I tell people, you don't need to have someone to fit your complete, like, checkbox so you can relate to them. I am not fucking a billionaire man who lost his fucking family at like the age of like 7 and then became a vigilante for justice. But there's a lot of, I don't relate to Batman, but there's a lot of moral, like, ambiguities and things I felt from watching the TSA series for the what Batman represented, for the idea of justice and authority, and like what it meant to take responsibility in a place that you felt like needed was lawless. Again, I loved Hey Arnold as a kid, but I wasn't some kid that lived in the Bronx. I wasn't some little blonde boy that again lost his parents. But Hey Arnold himself was such a good-natured, moralistic character that I felt compelled to not only root for him, but at the same time I felt like he was teaching me a lot of good. They were teaching me a lot of good things in the messaging what they were presenting. I don't need to relate. I don't even need to relate to this character, this crossdresser. But I can find enjoyment from the series.
Yep.
You don't need to have someone to completely, like, fill out your check boxes. So this, you don't need to be related to a character. It's fine. It can help you enjoy and ingrain yourself more into the series or into a movie or into whatever medium you want. But you don't need to have like a show completely represent you. The whole point of for you to enjoy a story is for you to literally lose yourself. Literally, like, this is something that breaks away from reality for you to actually enjoy, to watch, to read, to do whatever, play a game, like that. But again, these people just have to inject themselves into everything when it involves this type of stuff. And I just don't understand why. Well, okay, I understand why. I'm saying, like, it just doesn't make sense to, like, really do that. And then again, they get upset with you if you give them pushback and tell them, look, I'm telling you that's not what this character is. And like, okay, well, that's my headcanon. I'm like, cool, that's your fucking headcanon. That doesn't make it true.
No. Yeah, exactly. Like your headcanon is just complete bullshit because it's not true. You're not the creator.
Well, again, I don't like to use the creator argument too much because, again, we just go back to Digital Circus and my argument for that.
And also, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like the, I have so many like yes, the author is kind of like the final say in everything, but that's why you as someone who and again I normies and regular people aren't going to do this, but that's why we try to tell people you need to use actual a little bit more critical thinking when it comes to reading and engaging with these works because if you actually pay attention to it, all you need to do for a story, you don't even have to be like super fucking smart. All you got to do is actually pay attention to what's happening in the story and what's happening with a character. If the writer tells you something specifically that's happening in the series or movie or book that you're watching, reading, or whatever, and it's like character A shows us that they like to read books. They collect books. They like do X things with books, right? And that's what the writer has been telling us this whole time that this person really likes books. And then like every other thing that they talk about with people is them wanting to be friends with people that also like books. And by the end of the series, out of nowhere, the guy says, "Oh, I fucking hate books." And like you look at this like, wait, what do you mean you hate books? And you find out the writer is like, "Oh yeah, this entire story has been about why this person like fucking despises reading." And I'm like, but everything about the story has been telling me different. Have you just been writing that to like like, because right now I'm feeling like this is like contradicting what you've been writing. Why is that? And it's because the writer themselves have misinterpreted their own work. That's why death of the author exists as a concept. Because sometimes the author writes something and not even they understand what they wrote. A lot of people try to tell me that death of the author shouldn't be used or death of the author isn't true. And I'm like, no, you have to use death of the author because then there's so many
Yeah.
things in the story that just can't make sense sometimes.
Yep.
But yeah,
It's like you pay attention too much to your fans, where it's like it's no long. You're not making a good start because you're all you're doing is just changing stuff to please your fans.
or just please yourself. It's not. It doesn't even have to be a fan thing. It just be like, oh yeah, I wanted this the whole time. I'm like, cool. You
Yeah, but a
ruined
lot
your
of
whole
times it
show.
is a fan. A lot of times it's a fan thing.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes people just capitulate to their fans because they want to please their fans, and that's fine. You can please your fans, but you can't. I prefer if you didn't compromise your own work to do so. But yeah, so yeah, so this person's just saying like trans shit looks like fetish. Sadly, it's a femboy, not a trans. Like again,
It's not. But do you think it's ironic? I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to word this carefully as much as I can.
okay.
But isn't like it's funny how they're saying fetish because the people who are commenting on that they retweet a lot of like trans porn.
Well, yes and no. It really depends on the context you're in. Like some people,
Yeah.
again, like I said, some people don't operate on the same wavelength when it comes to that type of stuff. Even though it's essentially like being in a sense a hypocrite. Like
Yeah.
but it's like being a hypocrite without knowing.
Exactly.
Well, but I'm saying it's
Like
like
you
being a
said.
hypocrite without being knowing you're a hypocrite. And what I mean by that is
Yeah.
literally they can like fetishize other things, but they don't see it the other way around. So if they say you like let's say you're posting a lot of like femboy, risque, not safe for work stuff, right? And they're like, oh, you're just fetishizing like like guys who one day be trans, and you're like, no, I'm not. And then like you go to their page and like you're just fetishizing this shit, and their brain doesn't allow them to see that as a contradiction. They look at that and like, no, that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I
Oh my
mean.
god. I swear I hate when people bring up their image that femboys are like the good cousins of the trans. I'm like,
I've
yeah,
never
I don't know
heard
about
that.
that.
The good cousins. Hey, yo, it's my cousin Vinny.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that because there's a lot of instances of the trans crowd like literally bashing the
Well, yeah,
femboys,
that's
and
that. No, but that's always gonna, like I said, like the LGBT community, like plays upon the idea of like, oh, well, one big happy group. Let's all give each other a warm hug. But in reality, like, there's like half of the group that wants to backstab the other.
and then they'll start acting hostile when they don't knee jerk to their shitty politics.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why like I don't really like engaging with too much of the LGBT community sector groups, if you will. Like, I don't mind engaging with people who are LGBT. When you actually ask me, hey, you want to
But then
join this
again,
big LGBT group? I'm like, nah, I'm good.
both of us are LGBT.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't. If I'm friends with someone or I become friends with someone, they just happen to be LGBT. That's fine. I don't want to give a shit because what does it matter? But like, whenever they
I
want me
mean,
to enjoy,
it's us, you know.
it's like it's like
I don't want to
allowing.
say safe. I don't want to say safe space because that's just too
No, that's not because it's not a safe space. You just like to be in your own, like,
Yeah, especially because I don't believe in the whole safe space. I'm like, no,
yeah.
there's no such thing as safe space.
So
Because when you're in a safe space, it's no longer going to be safe at any moment.
yeah. I,
And I had that and I learned that from watching a lot of post-apocalyptic shit.
did this fucking not change? Like, right? Whatever. I'll have to fix that up later. Anyways, so going on to the next thing, we got a post here from Pirate Nation. Uh, a finished American artist has made a lifelong dream come true after moving to Japan to become a manga creator. The one-shot manga, "This Foreign is Too Otaku to Make Her Dreams Come True," won a prize at the Konodashi Women's Manga Competition, earning the official debut in a published Kiss and Be Love magazine. Before breaking into manga, the artist worked on anime projects including Lazarus, Blue Exorcist Season 3, and The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohan. My god, she has literally worked on nothing but shit. I don't know if you've ever seen Blue Exorcist. Season 3 was terrible. It actually made me like so there was a huge separation between seasons 2 and 3 of Blue Exorcist. I think it was literally like what, like maybe I think almost a decade because I think season 2 of Blue Exorcist came out in like 2014, 2015. I think that's when Blue Exorcist season 2 came out. Maybe a bit earlier. But season 3 didn't come out until like 2022, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a huge separation of time between the release dates. And I was a pretty big fan of Blue Exorcist growing up. It was like one of the first animes I actively got into and started like, reading the manga and stuff. So when they announced season 3, I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah. I'm ready for this shit to come back." And that's like an old guard series. I'm talking like this series like debuted in like 2006. So literally season 3 comes out, watch the whole thing. It is utter trash what they do. It is
I'll try it.
unbelievably horrendous season 3. I haven't seen season 4 because I'm just like so disgusted what happened during the events of season 3 that I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm touching the series again. Like it can sometimes take one season to ruin an anime completely. Like there was a series I loved, like called "A Devil Is a Part Timer," where I thought season 1 was
I think I've
hysterical. It
heard of
was
that one.
great. The animation was like the animation, especially with the facial expressions, was funny. It's a great series. Seasons 2 came out after like a decade of not being confirmed, then being confirmed for season 2, and it was bad. Again, like the character Mao became a bitch boy, and I was like, yeah, I'm done here. It's just not worth it, man. Like again, they just like I don't know if it's like the actual writing was like always this way or if like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But anyways, so I got an actually article talking about this. So okay. Fuck you, DeSoto. I hate you so much. Okay. So artist goes viral after achieving lifelong dream by moving to Japan to create manga. An artist who moved to Japan to pursue her dream of becoming a professional manga creator has officially made her debut after winning a major award. On June 26th, finished American artist Limio Kadoju announced that her manga has won the prize in Kodashina's Women's Manga Award, earning her an official manga debut with one of Japan's biggest publishers. While Kodawa has a history of working in Japan animation industry, her goal has always been becoming a professional manga artist. Well, for 4 years after moving to Japan, she pursued her dream. She has now officially achieved that. So I'm not too familiar with her manga actually is. It seems like it's a probably slice of life drama where I guess like it's again it says here there's the title. This foreigner is too otaku to make her dreams come true. So just from the title alone, I'm gonna assume okay, foreigner moves to Japan. Her dreams maybe not becoming a manga artist, but maybe become like into the anime industry or some big career in like that you can only achieve in Japan. Doesn't go her way, and it's probably like a slice of life drama based anime or at least series, right? That's
Mhm.
just my intention. I'm going purely off speculation of the title. So, that's good for her. The reason why I wanted to bring it up it wasn't just an accomplishment for her, but it was actually to go off to a different sect. And that is, do you remember when we talked about in episode 13 how when it was episode 12 where studios in Japan are wanting to opening up their doors to overseas artists.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those things. There a lot more studios are doing like using like kind of an award based like, hey, do you want to enter this contest and like see if you got the stuff to potentially join in our studio? This is kind of one of those things with the idea of them going further out of their actual own country to find artists and potential animators for their studios instead of looking like inward. And this kind of goes back to that argument: is it better for them to open up their doors to allow people like foreigners to come in and start working in their own studios rather than continually looking for more manga artists and storyboard artists and everything in Japan?
Mhm.
So this kind of like goes to the argument. On top of that, we've had a lot of like stories come out recently where Japanese studios, primarily in the actual anime industries, are looking to open up to the ideas of DEI.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people are starting to begin to wonder, are these kind of like ideas of opening up to foreigners with these type of competitions and kind of outsourcing attached to that? Some people are making the claims in case, others are saying no, that's like two separations, and it's more like, well, there might be a little bit more in the middle. Like again, there might be more in the latter than there is in anything else, you know.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm bringing up this story is that some people are thinking this is one of those cases. I didn't actually look into her actual thing too much, so I was really looking at it. So, artist makes manga debut in Japan. I debuted as a mangaka in Japan. With my manga is The Foreigner. Two is too otaku to make her dreams come true. Won the prize at Kyoto's Women's Manga Award, and thus I'm making my manga debut in Kara's Kiss and Be Love magazines in Japan. Wrote Katjar via her X account. Before making her manga debut, Katjar was already working Japan anime industry as a key frame subversion and animator at Creative Freaks Pictures. Her credits include popular series you can't say popular, Lazarus, Blue Exorcist season 3, and Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohan. Again, this right here, this is nowhere near being popular. Like this is
Mhm.
loosely based on a small tidbit, like a small bit of a story of the Lord of the Rings, and they gave so much more. Again, they took so many liberties from that to make it into adaptation. Like it was just supposed to be a quick little battle. They decided to turn it into an entire series. The main character that this is actually based around, the daughter of one of the leaders, didn't even have a name in the book.
Really?
And then they based the entire story around her. So that should give you some idea. And projects for the VTuber agencies Hololive and VShojo. Oh, that's sad. However, making her own manga and getting it published both in Japan and internationally is a huge thing, and one has been deemed to come true for Kajar. So she's kind of showcasing, like, that she debuted her manga and everything. And again, I'm just kind of going to the actual article to talk about her. This I think it's pretty cool. At the same time, I'm worried because going back to the idea of Japanese studios wanting to open up DI for their actual industry and looking for more foreigners to join their companies, I'm worried. And the reason being isn't just the fact that it's because it's DEI, it's because literally they're looking at it from a business perspective, meaning, oh, if we pull in
Yeah.
more outside artists,
Like they go on the same. Do they go on the same tactics of what BlackRock is doing?
not exactly. I would say in the case of Blackwater, they are 100% looking at this from a profit standpoint and a sense of greed. In the case of what most Japanese studios are doing, I would say probably a good chunk of them are actively doing this not just for profit, but they truly believe this could actually help out their industry grow to much a larger base. Because remember, it's not just they want to invite DEI into their studios. Japan, with their anime studios, have wanted to expand for a while now because they see anime as their main export currently. Because of the actual large popular boom that of anime has seen in the past decade, Japan's own economy, its own like actual government has been actually giving money into these studios. They've been pumping funds to them. And remember, they had this anime project with this idea of like actually creating several of sectors of Japan's like own country to be transformed, almost gentrified into anime focused like tourist spots. Like, did you hear that there's actually a big old tourist spot now in a prefecture in Japan that's One Piece based?
Yeah, I mean that you already mentioned that.
Well, it's not. No, I showed the Detective Conan one. Like, Detective Conan
No,
has several people.
no, the other one you said about I should be interested.
Oh, but that was I should speed one to go and actually like fish out the fucking One Piece like treasure chest. I'm talking there's an actual prefecture that literally has like Luffy's like there's like a statue of Luffy with the crew and everything. They got like memorabilia. They got a giant like part of the actual Sunny ship and everything. Like it's things you can actually go to take pictures. It's almost like an actual amusement park without it being an amusement park. It's like
Yeah.
it's like if small rural town in America decided to change their. You know how like sometimes we would make amusement parks for like the Flintstones, how they used to have amusement parks,
Yeah.
kind of like that. You make an entire area be known for this one thing, and in the case of Japan's, it's anime. They have a place for again. Remember how we talked about the story for they made an entire like special event for oh my god, I'm forgetting her name right now. I feel so terrible. The train that was gonna show a special event for brain. It's not working right now. I'm forgetting her name. Lucky Star. Not Lucky Star, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
How do we?
Haruhi, thank you. Why did I call her Haruko for some reason?
How do we?
Yeah, again, like Japan has been pushing for more events like that for throughout their entire country. They want their entire anime plan is by 2032, I believe it was, that they were going to entirely like change up Japan to be an anime hub of the world.
Mhm.
So this is my thought process why studios are doing this. It's not just a DEI thing. It's also because it's part of the actual plan initially that they were always going to expand. Again, Katakura is a great example of this. They've been talking about expanding their actual studio for a while now and hiring and outsourcing a lot of their work from other countries. They wanted to pull in some animators from India, from here in the States, from Canada, from France. Like they've been looking into this, primarily into India. They've been looking more into India than anywhere else. But like they have been looking for the past like 5 years into expanding and outsourcing anime to those countries.
Mhm.
And that kind of like moves us into like the next topic. Because again, this is opening up the discussion. Here's where we're gonna get kind of more a bit crazy with it. So Pirate Nation also shared something else. Right here. Japan investing 11.5 billion yen, and as he puts it, $71 million American, in AI to speed up anime and manga translations. The plan will help companies like Crunchyroll, Sushomi's, Bandai Namco, Kanashawa, and Square Enix use AI tools to release official translations much faster for global fans. They want to shorten the wait between Japanese release, official English versions, reducing the resilience of on pirating sites and fans' translations. So, there's a lot to go into with this. And I knew this is going to be like the bigger topics we have today because there is a lot to talk about for this. Firstly, I think it's funny and I think a lot of people are like patting themselves on the back right now for calling this shit out. For like the longest time, we kept telling localizers, "Hey, stop doing this retarded bullshit. Just translate it how it's supposed to translate and you get to keep your job." And they're like, nah, we're not gonna do that. Why would we do that? And it's like, all right, cool. Let the robot come in and take your shit. And what's happening now? Japan's like, yeah, let's let AI take care of this. This way you guys can push your shit much faster out there, right? Again, like people are clapping their hands for this. Like some people are worried, and this is gonna go into a bigger topic as we keep looking. But right now, people are like on board with this idea of like, hey, yeah, we told you, stop fucking around and you won't lose your job. And people are like, we're not going to lose our job. You people need us. And I'm not even just saying that to be like, cheeky and facetious. I mean, literally. I've got a few things here. So here's one localizer, right? So the localizer in the anime, they say Midoriya targets the incel types. In reality, they don't say incel. They say dote, which means virgin or virginity.
It's talking about. Oh my fucking god!
Yeah.
Always overused terms or
Yeah.
buzzwords or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's not even just the buzzwords. It's like a complete alteration of what the actual meaning is. So incel, right? So incel, we know the language, we know the word meaning someone who purposefully stays a virgin or someone who has never actually been with a girl and thus is forced to stay a virgin because they have no actual like, the word has been changed slightly, but the meaning is always the same. Someone who has been purposefully or through actions of like basically like you know what? Instead of me just bastardizing the definition, what does incel mean? So, a member of the online community, they even got the newer version. A member of the online community, young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views are hostile towards women. Again, this is what they're saying. No, actually, let's go right here. And so, remember the okay, yeah. So it's the subculture. Yep, subculture primarily.
Don't trust Wikipedia.
Well, but this is giving me almost the same definition. It's the idea, right? That's where the meme has now come in. So that's kind of what they're saying. So
Word, just like, but that word, just like that stupid ass word.
I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. The actual word used in the actual language for Japanese is dote, which means virgin or virginity, meaning she's saying, yeah, Midoriya likes to target virgins. Virgin has no negative implication. On the word itself has no negative connotation or implication when you say it to someone. When you say, "Oh, dude, are you still a virgin?" Yeah, is there a little tongue in cheek with it? 100%. But that implies to them, "Oh, you haven't slept with a girl yet." Ha 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 ha. However, incel immediately has that negative connotation, and you know exactly what you're doing with that word because when you call someone an incel, that implies either
they're being very smeary about it.
exactly. And again, this isn't just one example.
Some very disgustingly smeary. I hate when people smear bullshit.
Well, yeah, but again, this isn't just one example. I have plenty of examples to go along with this. And again, I've shown on this actual channel multiple times that localizers have done this shit and what they really want to do. Like here's one. Yeah, here's one. In quotes. No, 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 no. See, the English localization is the Japanese game is bad because some person online with negative bias told me that it was bad. Also, I do anarchy. So that's supposed to be tongue in cheek. Here's where we're getting to some shit. Let me control plus. Oh, that's not actually expanding anything. How the fuck do I? I might need to screenshot this and make it bigger. Because I have no way of actually expanding this. 1 second. Screenshot. Okay. Can you still see my screen, hon?
Oh fuck! What happened to the tab?
No, I didn't mean to do that. How do I do that? Wait, so can you see? Pero.
Hold up, cause I don't know what the fuck happened to the screen. It just randomly disappeared.
What, the Discord screen?
Yeah.
Do you need me to unshare it and share it again?
No, I'm gonna have to hang up and return.
Are you sure? I think it's on my end. Here, let me see.
No, like literally, it's like not showing up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Here. Oh, so you can't even see that other one.
I can't see the Discord tab.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, hold on, let me turn on the other monitor and see if it fixes it.
Okay, you take care of that. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, there we go. There you go. Okay, there you go.
Okay, you got it?
It's back. It's back on.
Okay, cool. Let me get this going. Here we go. Okay. So I do a little bit of finagling. All right. God, is this gonna be too blurry? Yeah, that's pretty blurry. Fuck. Damn it. I can read them, but I want you guys to be able to see it too. So I think I might just have to move on to another one.
No, I think no. Wait, hold up. I think you can just like right click and then open image.
But won't it still be blurry? Oh no, shit. Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
that fixed it. Thank you. I didn't have to do any of the other shit I did. Okay, so anyways, so we got this person talking about like also no translations, push an agenda. You think anyone has time to bother with that shit? Get over yourselves. So they're trying to make an argument saying like this is a translator basically describing to the people, we don't actively like translate things to misinterpret or to like add in our own agenda to things. You're an idiot for believing that. So that's what they're claiming. Translations are not your enemy. Don't make decision on what to censor. They do our best so they can get across the experience of the game it was meant as it was for them to make it the same experience available to you within the time and magical consistencies imposed on them. So again, they're trying really hard to paint this picture that they're again. There's a localizer who's trying to paint the idea that we do not change the meaning or the translation. We are doing a job. There is no hidden agenda amongst it. From diagram of people who think translations would compromise their employment to falsely translate for some vague push an agenda goal for people to refuse to believe popular YouTubers or blogs would ever try to manufacture fake outrage for clicks and circles. Again, so this person, oh, and like, you love it, you love it. Gamers are always looking for something to blame for why content gets cut from Western versions of games, and yet somehow always settle on translations running into their nefarious purposes instead of far simpler capitalism.
Oh
See,
my
it's the capitalism's fault why your games are different. It's not our fault.
god. Oh my.
It's capitalism.
Jesus Christ. You can obviously tell that these motherfuckers are politically charged and they'll use anything that they'll mention politics for any shitty fucking reason.
Again, but again, these are two separate localizers, are like three actually, arguing in in people's chats on X and on places like Blue Sky, telling you these aren't the localizers you're looking for. We don't alter shit. And then again, all we gotta do is go back. Netflix localizer reads writes Blue Box. English script sees character compliment for being feminist instead of being
Oh
feminine.
no. Okay, I'm just scrolling to Twitter. Literally, it says a live action Persona series is in the works at Netflix. Oh no.
Oh no, I don't. What is with the? I hate the fact that Persona 4 became so obnoxiously popular because now not only
No,
does the actual company Alice
no.
want to put that game in everything.
It just says Persona. It just
No,
says
no.
Persona.
But I'm saying Persona 5 was the catalyst because of how big the game was in popularity. It started to make Atlas want to push that game in everything, not just Persona, but Persona as an idea in everything. They're marketing so that you heard Nikkei is getting a collaboration with Persona now, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
heard that.
Huh?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Persona was just being. It's just being milk.
No, no, I know. And then Joker fucking ended up in Smash like years ago. I'm like, why? And there's been multiple instances where like Persona, specifically Persona 4, has been collabing with other small gacha games and other things like that to just put them in there. I believe the Eminence and Shadow game got a Persona like collaboration as well, and I just like why. I get it. You want to market your series as much as you can to really push it more into the stratosphere, but like you're actually like becoming so overbearing with it that it's losing a lot of its actual like enjoyment.
Yep.
But again, such a simple translation, right? Japanese, Japanese. This is a fucking the horse anime series. Prettier Girl Derbies. Yeah. So all they're saying is Merry Christmas, something like you always hear cutesy in Japanese. God damn it, I hate it. I hate that
Holiday,
X naturally mutes this shit.
holiday party.
You heard them? They're like Merry Christmas. Translation: Happy Holidays. No, bitch, they
No,
said Merry Christmas, so you gotta say Merry Christmas.
no, it said holiday. It said something about
Right, it said holiday party, but did you hear what they said?
happy holidays. That's not even correct.
They're saying Merry Christmas, and the translation says holidays, happy holidays. Christmas is a holiday, but it's not the one they're celebrating right now. I mean, Christmas is a holiday, but that's the one they're celebrating. They're not celebrating multiple holidays. They're not like saying like,
That's what they're saying. No, it's what they're saying.
right? They're saying Merry Christmas. The localizers changed the actual dubbing. I mean, the captions to Happy Holidays.
Seriously, this is an English word, bro. This is literally an English fucking word.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
And you're here to tell me that you literally just translate to happy. Like, how can you fuck this up?
and then again, people and then localizers wants us to feel bad. They're like, we're gonna lose our jobs. I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah, good fucking thing. Comment hits you back like a motherfucker.
Now, again, this does also paint a slight problem. A slight problem. Because AI is not there yet. It's just not.
Yeah.
They have been trying to they have been trying to use AI in some localizations like like the was Ancient Magnus's Bride. They started using AI to localize their own series. And while most of the time it's actually pretty good, it does fuck up sometimes in the translation. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm saying like I would want them to like ease into it. Now, personally, I would want just to like, I want to use this as kind of like a scare because I still want I still want there to be I don't mind there being AI, but I wish there'd be human oversight with it because especially if you're going to be trying to do this for multiple animes because you want to try to like push out as many of the actual like dubs and translations as possible so this way more and more anime gets like made. That's fine, but you need to have some human oversight because again the technology is just not there, especially since we're getting a lot of like actual tech companies saying, hey, we're kind of done with AI now. Like many tech companies actually closing their doors or halting any AI projects they had because they were trying to go in it too fast, and now most of their actual shit has been like dropping to the face of the earth. Like you heard what happened to this like one company, right? That like they allowed the AI to kind of like take over its entire infrastructure for like how it was like monitoring things coming in. I forgot what the actual tech company was, but there was a tech company that basically allowed AI to kind of like allow information like the documents being sent into it to kind of like register, okay, this document needs to go out, this document needs to go in, and then like they asked the AI, hey, can you find a way to like make the process go faster and yada yada yada, and yeah, sure buddy. And what it does is, how do I make this go faster and how to make it more efficient? It just started dumping the documents. So essentially, it was just like spreading the documents out everywhere, and eventually it killed itself. Well, because that's what keeps happening. There was that other AI that basically like I forgot what here. Let me see. Tech company AI that deleted itself. Is this it? Is this a story? Clyde-powered AI agents confess after deleting a firm's entire database. I violated volunteer. No, I violated every principle I was given. I only took 9 seconds for the AI coding agent gone rogue to delete a company's entire production database and its backups, according to its founder. So literally, this AI went rogue and deleted their entire system. This isn't a one-off occurrence. This has been happening more and more lately. And it's because they're overloading the AIs with so much information, with so much things to do that they cannot, their processing cannot actually handle it. So they overload, or they just kind of like they have a directive and then they ignore the directive and they just do what the fuck they want. But that's what I'm saying. I want us to ease into this. I really do. I really want us to ease into using AI for translations if we're going to be doing this. And if they're going to be pouring this much money into it, I'm really hoping they're thinking about any like possible like at least thinking about the possible outcomes that this could like actually bring about, because they have been, Japan and many studios have been wanting to push to make more anime faster, and there's always going to be a problem when you kind of expedite like kind of like conveyor belt your system of operation.
When you're trying to do when you're trying to go when you're rushing too much.
Yes. Like, I don't want to have. Yeah, do I want more anime? Sure, I love watching anime and I love enjoying, like, taking time out of my day to watch one series here and there. The problem is, I don't want to have, like, 10 more One Punch Man Season 3 series come out because you decide to take the cheap way out just so that you can get as much anime out there. Again, I think quantity over quality is always going to be your friend. Sure, will people be upset the fact that it's taking a while for some series to come out? 100%. But the moment that thing comes out, it's gonna be
patient assholes.
well, yes and no. Like, yeah, sometimes like people can be a little bit too impatient when it comes to something for waiting, and that does actually fuck up like the actual creators or editors or actual creators of a studio, because sometimes they acknowledge the fact that shit, if we don't get this out fast enough, then it's gonna lose its steam. And people, like, for instance, right now, I guess one of the best examples I can give is, you know how Fillion the VTuber disappeared. Like, she's like doing this like ARG stuff, and like she's like, "Where's Fillion?" You know, everything.
Mhm.
Well, she's been gone for a while now, and people are still massively interested in what she's doing. But I think she's expanded the actual like game of looking for her a little bit too long, to the point where now I'm seeing a lot of comments saying like, "Dude, I don't give a fuck anymore. This has gone tiring. I think I'll just move on." So that's that can happen to games, to books, and everything else. Like, again, another great example, people really liked people really loved um Joel Tolkien's fucking what's it called, why am I forgetting its name, Game of Thrones, right? So books came out, people loved them. Series came out, people loved the series up until a certain point of the seasons. But we are still at the point where he hasn't released the next set of books. J.R.R. Martin has not released the actual next books of Song of Ice and Fire, and people are getting so tired of it that most of them have moved on to other novels. Sure, you still have the television series come out with House of the Dragon, and I heard fucking uh Kingdom of the Realms is really good, but like, at this point, if you don't do something soon, people will forget about your series and move on to the next series. That's how it happens. And that is relevant to everything. But at the same time, if you overpopulate that same thing with too much, it can not only overwhelm people, but it can be taxing on the actual people creating the work. And at that point, you're not creating something that it's going to be pleasurable for someone to enjoy. It's going to be crap.
Mhm.
Like, look how many people are actually upset with the whole JoJo's thing that happened a while back. Remember how like that they made the one episode and then they didn't actually make the second one?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Fucking
people,
bastard.
you had all the hype right there. People were there in their butts watching Netflix. Episode 1 came out, people lost their proverbial shit and loved it. It was one of the highest viewed and rated episodes for Netflix. And then episode 2 said, "Hey, we're not ready yet." And it's still not ready to this day. Do you know how many people are probably dropped off now and just don't care?
Yeah.
We live in a
Not
world
a
where
lot.
literally at your fingertip, you can watch anything you used to watch as a kid, and so many new shows that are coming out right now that if you don't stay relevant in some way, shape, or form, you will lose an audience. But if what you've created is good enough, you can also retain that audience. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You need to come out at a good enough time that it's going to stay relevant to you, but you need to make sure you take enough time to like make sure the quality of your product is really good. It's kind of like, there's a pattern to this thing, but you also have to take the time to really understand when is it too long and when is it too short of a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, this is I think this is funny, and I think this is the way it was always going to go, because one, you've had the constant amount of controversies with localizers and VAs. Let's not count ourselves. It's also VAs, but you've also had the string of ideas of Japan wanting to expedite like much faster rate of like creation for anime because that's the main export. So again, that's how it's gonna go. And if a few localizers lose their job if it come of it, no one's gonna lose sleep over that. Like, people are gonna be like, "Why do you want us to lose our jobs?" I'm like, because you do a shit thing at your job, because you're a shit person, because you do inject your own agendas into these series. No one told you to do this. You decided that you had a little bit of power, and you decided to like, push that little bit of power a bit too much. You kind of like drew your hand too fast there, buddy. Sorry, drinking some water. But yeah, so like some of the comments here, like anyone celebrating this is likely to illiterate to or to be affected, but the rest of us are just sad. Good time to anyone start learning Japanese. Yeah, if it means retarded woke pronoun localizers, I'll put it out of the job. I'm 100% behind this. This just. I love how the first comment is like, "Who? What kind of illiterate asshole is like, like it's happy for this? Behold, T's sup kit. Oh yeah, fuck us for
Wait, highlight the person's bio and see what it looks like.
Which one?
T spud kit or sub kit.
I don't.
No pronouns. Okay, that's.
No, hell no, no. It's fuck. Wait, author of the Heroes of the Six Kingdoms, just a guy who loves to write. Apparently, this is an author.
Yeah.
I gotta see the author of the Heroes of the Six Kingdoms. What the fuck? It's a game? Heroes of the Heroes of the Three Kingdoms. He said Six Kingdoms. I don't see this. Is it a book? I thought the Heroes of the Six Kingdoms, a guy who just loves to write. Maybe it's like a short story. Not sure. But yeah, I don't know how it would be surprise to anyone. Though honestly, having AI localization is instead of weird ideological stuff is a positive for me. Hell, I'd go back to fun subs. Oh my god, no! I mean, actually, yeah. There's a really. I've told you how much I really like the anime called Daily Life of High School Boys, right?
I don't know that one.
You've never heard of that? Oh, I have to show you the series. It is quite possibly one of the funniest animes I've ever watched. It is great. It's on the same level of like shit, actually I don't know if you know that, you might not know any of these other ones. Anyways, I'm about to show you it. But essentially there's an actual fan dub that was created for the anime and a fan sub for it on YouTube for a while. And they did a really nice job. I think that's one of the best things about this is this only hurts official localization. It doesn't hurt any like fan dubbing or fan subbing that would be going on YouTube. Which again, I think that's one of the best ways to kind of like showcase like that this is primarily focused on trying to stop. Oh yeah, we forgot the piracy angle. They're also doing this to kind of stop piracy, which I guess in some weird way that could help slow down piracy because if you're making something much quicker than it would be, the actual series would be out officially much quicker. So this way, this could lend people to stop pirating things. So this way, they could get it to a much faster audience as well. However, that's not one of the main reasons why people do piracy. Yeah, do people do some piracy because they want something earlier? Sure. But piracy is also there so this way it's available to people who don't actually have either the ability or the money to buy the subscription services to places like Crunchyroll, to like Hulu and everything to actually be able to view this stuff. So that might slow it down a tad, but that's not gonna stop it. On one hand, this is good because I'm sick of woke localizers. On the other hand, this is bad because good localizers really enhance the experience. Yes, I agree. That is something I was thinking about too. There are good localizers. People actually just go in there, do a job, and do a pretty good, damn good job at it. But it kind of sucks because this is what I always say: if you have a bad apple amongst a bunch, you have to be willing to call out that bad apple, so this way you don't get fucked. But if you're just gonna stand there quietly in the corner while that asshole keeps rotting up the entire like orchard, then there's not much I can say to help you out there, buddy.
Yep.
So instead of actual human translation my manga, it's now gonna be translation by a clanker. Oh my god, I love the fact that the word clanker.
Wait, click highlight the person's bio and see what it is.
Absolute moron. Aspiring 3D animator.
Okay.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna be like, oh, I got like the 20,000 pride flags in my biome, and I'm like ZM her or something like that. Not everyone's gonna be like that, hun. Some people are just generally gonna come at this like basically from a probably more reasonable or down to earth perspective. But there are good localizers that'll be put into jobs by this shit. Then it'll be spread to the other industries. God damn. What the fuck? Is that Asmongold?
No, I think that's just a photo edit.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Is that in a photo edit of them putting Asmongold's face on there?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. GG to the woke localizers. Oh shit! Sorry, I hit my mic. Let's see. On one hand, it's hard. On one hand, it's good because the official translations will be less shit. On the other hand, it won't be able to touch fan translations with their expert subtitle placement, karaoke ODP, OP and ED, and fancy effects because fan service need to have to support the lowest common. I'm assuming common denominator. Yep. The best thing that could be getting rid of the Western VAs. Either they spend some of the actual vetting through during higher process, or get rid of them and get rid of them too. I'm not sure if that's how he meant. I think he meant to say two. Anyways, Western VAs are the issue. Translations can go expedition if you some dumb motherfuckers didn't have to interject shit. Again, like all these people are just saying the same thing. Everyone here is agreeing.
Yeah.
Fuck the localizers. And you have bred upon this. This is what you have bred. And people be like, yeah, these people didn't exist. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're right. Sometimes people can be a bit too harsh. And I'm sorry that they hurt your feelings. But in actuality, I don't give a fuck. You came out swinging when these people weren't doing any. These people were just standing there, minding their own fucking business, enjoying their animes, and you decided to come into the room, step on top of the table, bend over, and take a massive shit on it.
Massive shit.
Just a massive shit right there. So you can't complain when they take that plate that has the shit and smear it in your face. But yeah, so that's I think that was the last one I had on my docket for here. Yeah, so that's the last one I have here in my docket. So the last thing I wanted to bring up is actually this is a story that happened a while back. So yeah, all the way in May, but we couldn't cover it because of issues. So China's unstoppable love for Japanese anime, how tensions can't slow down the culture wave sweeping the nation. So what is this actually talking about? Well, for a while now, I guess Japan and China have been having some issues going back and forth with trade and other tensions, like for instance, China like invading some of the waters and near Taiwan and everything.
And then there's a lot of like anti-Japanese sentiment among Chinese.
Exactly, but like their tensions have been growing. The biggest problem though is amongst the youth and many of the actual population of China, anime has become one of the biggest like entertainments they have. So much so that China has actually been making moves to create their own Chinese like their own Chinese anime industry. Like you can see, like why to me, one of the biggest Chinese animes out there is fuck, why am I forgetting its name? Not the Ruined King, uh,
Oh, I thought you said
the Immortal King. The Immortal King. That's what it's
I
called.
thought you said something like woman. I thought you were gonna say the Woman King.
No, not the Woman King. That shit flopped easily. But no, the Immortal King. That is one of China's biggest fucking.
That movie title, The Woman King, is just hilarious.
No, that shit failed beyond belief. Like there have been so many.
But the way they named the movie, The Woman King.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It just gives me a good chuckle though.
I know, I get you. But Japan's animated content, widely known as Japanese anime, remains firmly embedded in the actual culture conception patterns of China. Even in the border diplomatic relationship between the two countries experience stress, this culture trend is visible through the specific engagement in the national level. Animation platforms' long-standing historical influences and major cultural events that highlight the role of the animation and related content in China's creative and cultural ecosystem. Ugh, that was a mouthful. So what they're basically saying is like despite all the tension, there are still plenty of anime related like conventions and events in China that take place that invite Chinese creators to come and like do like panels and stuff to talk about it because well it's so popular and big there that the actual people who are experiencing anime don't give a shit the fact that it's made by Japanese creators because they like the actual work. And this kind of annoys many of the older like Japanese government officials and stuff because like they again the actual it's basically like this: the citizens like anime, thereby extension they like Japan. The government doesn't like Japan, but don't want to exactly extenuate the love for anime because it's also a big economy boom for them.
Mhm.
So like Japan's government's kind of like in a rock and a hard place with this shit. Japan's popular culture long before the actual culture's context made deep inroads into China culture's environment. Japanese animation, comics, drama, special effects programs, games, and related entertainment products have been imported into the mainland China over the several decades. Though official broadcast introductions, licensing distributions, and the culture exchange initiatives, Japanese anime contributed into its increased visibility. Japanese creative output and raised awareness of Japanese culture forms among Chinese audiences. The influence extended beyond the entertainment and local creative practices, shaping how Chinese animated content was conceptualized and consumed. And again, this kind of happened to us too. Like I've said this before, but America doesn't really have a distinct uh, art style anymore when it comes to our actual like cartoons. Sure, we still have some like Western designed cartoons, but most of our Westernly designed cartoons have been kind of like fitting the same bill for a while now because we're all coming out of the same stupid ringling schools in California, animated places that make all cartoons kind of look the same. Nowhere do we have like the designs of like old with like Bugs Bunny, Fred Flintstone, Scooby Doo, all those old shows. Everything looks like the Amazing World of Gumball. Everything looks like fucking regular show. Everything looks like fucking Teen Titans Go. All these animation studios is repeat the process of how our designs work. And people was like, "Well, anime is the same thing." I was like, "Right, but this is a distinct difference. Anime is always stuck clear to its designs while also perfecting them. In our case, we've never actually perfected any of our designs anymore because we don't have a strong culture
Oh yeah.
surrounding it."
Speaking of that, it's funny how I told you the other day about when I was at Anime Fest 2 years ago, where somebody held the sun, and then they were asking people, urging people to ask the question: is anime a cartoon or not, or do you consider it a cartoon?
Well, yeah, by our
And I,
extensions,
and I was and I was hesitant to ask, but I was like, no, there's too much in between questions for me to answer that.
no, by all technical standards, anime is just Japanese cartoons, but they use a different name to for its terminology to name it something. So that's why we see it as a different genre. But it is, by all standards, a cartoon. It's just their version of cartoons. Like
I guess
we
it's
can
like that.
we can give something in like in a additive or extension, like for instance we separate like cartoons versus adult cartoons. We say animation versus cartoons when talking about movies, but in actuality most of these kind of fall under the same realm of animation. It just really depends on how kind of like what I've always seen it as, depending on what verbiage you want to use to describe it. But I've always just seen Japan like it's just cut from a different cloth, if you will. It's the same thing, it's just cut differently. But yeah,
Yeah.
but we've seen like I was saying here in the West, many of our current iteration of cartoons have been taking some references, some ideas, some concepts from anime and putting it into our own designs, into our own stories. How we again like the Owl House and Amphibian, just two shows from Disney, kind of share similarities to how isekais are presented in anime. You know, person
Except that Our House is a ass show. Very ass.
it's got its moments. I do like it, and I do like some of the characters. I think Lou as a
I think
main
the char-
character.
I would the characters look absolutely ass.
No, I think they have a
Very.
cute design. I don't like what the show tries to go into a deeper meaning when it comes to the ending and like basically like how Lou is able to survive like what happened to her and everything. But I
I
think
always I
I
always thought Our House is like the most psych edgy show ever.
I see what you mean. I like the characters enough. I liked Amphibian more, but I still had my problems with Amphibian. But like I would always, but you can see what I mean. Like those shows reference and take some inspiration from anime isekais to their own series. From its actual designs to how some of the actual action works. Again, Moon Girl is another example. Moon Girl is just essentially a very cartoony anime. And then you actually
Yeah.
go into like places like Cartoon Network, like a lot of their shows start. I've been seeing this mostly from Disney side of things lately, but there are shows on Cartoon Network side and Nickelodeon says that take a lot of like references to that as well. I will say Nickelodeon's still a bit more cartoony in realm of like design and concepts than it is than any others, but I would say like a show like the one of the new shows called Wild Pack that has a bit like animation references from its designs and its conception for its jokes and everything more so than others. But this is what I'm kind of saying. There's nothing wrong with us being inspired by us. But again, this is taking away from like some of how Western culture has always depicted when it comes to cartoons. Like, no more have we created someone like Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny. Or again, as I went back, Scooby Doo or the Flintstones or any of those
Yeah.
guys. The old days of us creating characters like Yogi Bear, like Ed and Eddie, like the Powerpuff Girls, those are gone. We're not gonna ever really like recreate or even create any original ideas like that anymore. We have kind of hit the proverbial wall, and that's kind of where we're gonna be staying.
Mhm.
That's why I'm like really sad the fact that there hasn't been any modern day cartoon that I thought was like really good.
Mhm.
But yeah, but that's why I really like anime. And again, in China's case, the tensions
And
have been growing.
there's a reason why I started watching anime because
Well, I mean, I always
uh,
watched anime as a kid because here in the states we got it, and I used to watch every cartoon as a kid because I loved cartoons, and it just so happened that anime became
yeah.
more my favorite cartoons, well, more my favorite enjoyment and entertainment as a kid going into high school because I started seeing the actual examples on the wall that our shows started to suck, and you know what didn't suck? Anime.
Exactly. Well, there was terrible anime. It was definitely a lot more enjoyable in a bad way
Well, here's what I always say:
for kids.
for every terrible anime in that is produced in Japan, we have like 10 shows that are terrible. So yeah, I'd say there's more of a success for a hit in Japan's anime section than there is here in the West. There are just so many more bad shows that we have created in the past like 2 decades that if you actually like put it next to Japan's like record of shows and like quantify it with an actual rating, we'd be on that lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I think I could name like 5 shows right now that I would consider good that have come out in like the 2020s.
Hmm.
Same, I wouldn't even go back to the 2010s. I could only probably name like maybe 10 or 5 shows that I thought were actually good from beginning to end that we created. Every other show either had like a huge problem that going into the next season or started out with a problem, but I kind of ignored because of the actual concept. And then partway through the series, like just became nowhere near to what it was. Like again, a great example of that is Adventure Time. Adventure Time I used to really love it, and then around season 3, it started to change, and then by season 5,
I did like Adventure Time, but not as much as regular show by
no,
far. Regular
regular
show was
show is
always
one of those shows that stayed consistent with its kind of like concepts, its jokes, its themes, and for its characters. And it is one of the
yeah.
few shows that I can point to is like, wow, your characters actually improved over time. They didn't stay like stagnant and became flanderized characters. No, Rigby became a better character. Benson got like exactly what he always deserved. Even like they gave Pops and Skips like great characterizations too. Even Muscle Man ended up marrying Starla and having a family. He became Muscle Dad, which again is really good. I like how JG Quintel allowed his characters to grow up alongside us, and we saw their evolution. I cannot say the same for Adventure Time. I cannot say the same for Teen Titans Go. I cannot say the same for any other Cartoon Network show that have
Did
come
Teen
out in the
Titans Go end?
no, but that's what Teen Titans Go series only got worse. Hell, even Ben 10 after like the original series, I liked Ben 10 up until Alien like the Alien Omniverse, and that's when like somehow Ben 10 became more of how he was when he was a kid, and then the reboot happened and they hurt it even more. Like, how the fuck did you do that, dude? You actually had a pretty solid show right there and then, and you fucked it.
Yep.
But anyways, that's like the last thing I had though. That's all I got going now.
Yep.
I'm gonna like just talk to you guys about this. Originally I had off tomorrow, like I always do, but my work decided to say, "Hey, we forgot to schedule some people, so we need someone to come in. Can you come in, please?" And I'm like, "Sure, I can come in." So my plan is, I got work tomorrow, but I will be coming back, and stream might start a little late, but it will start like around like maybe 7:30 or 8 o'clock, as today did
Mhm.
for streaming. Tomorrow we're going to be going over the Gabe Cube, GTA 6, and we're going to be talking about some Bungie. So hope you guys are ready. Bruno's actually going to be joining me for that
You
too.
meant the you meant the Steam machine?
The Gabe Cube, yeah.
Why you call it GameCube?
No, Gabe.
It's
Gabe Cube.
Gabe?
Gabe Newell, the guy who
Oh,
created.
oh, okay.
Oh my god.
GameCube. I thought you
Gabe,
said
yeah, Gabe.
GameCube.
Yeah, the Gabe
You got
Cube.
you got me confused there,
I
Jules.
could tell I got you confused there. You were like, oh, baffled.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna be talking about those subjects. Hope you guys are ready for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then this Thursday and Friday, this Thursday and Wednesday, I'll be doing some more Dark Souls. And then Friday, depending on how it goes, I may stream then too. I may not stream. It all really depends. But I am going to be streaming for at least the next 4 days. So I hope you guys are ready for that. I hope you guys are getting entertained. Before we end things off, Bruto, is there anything you want to add?
No, it's just I'm just too tired to like.
Yeah, Bruno's exhausted. The sun has been melting us. Like anyone who lives in the southern, like eastern hemisphere of like the United States right now. Oh my god, it's so hot. Like I found it funny because you sent me I didn't get to respond. You said like, oh my god, it's 100 degrees. I'm like, that's like every day for me. It's been 100 every day.
Well, not only southern, but in the southern west as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's been hot. Like and like I thank God I fucking have the job I do because even though I'm out in the sun, I at least get to jump back into the AC after a while. And I'm like, oh, I can breathe again.
Unlike me, where we have shitty fans.
Yeah, I know you just got those crappy little industrial fans that don't really give up much air, and I'm so sorry. Make sure you drink plenty of water.
Yeah, I mean we do have a water dispenser.
I remember the other day the AC actually broke inside the store and like everyone was just well it didn't break like for some reason just my back department like didn't have AC and
It just malfunction.
yeah it just malfunctioned as I was told and like everyone in my department was melting. Everyone was miserable. I came inside with a smile because I was actually having a good morning and everyone just stared at me. He's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, what the hell what happened? He's like, can't you feel it? And like the moment I stepped into my department, it was like night and day. I stepped in from a nice cool air conditioned area to like the sun.
Yep.
I was like, is it actually colder outside? And because we have all like those big fridges and stuff that are like constantly on and power that generate heat, yeah, it was actually cooler for a little bit outside than it was inside. At least that's what it felt like. But anyways, but yeah, we're gonna end things off there, guys. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversations. And as always, no matter where you guys are in the world, no matter what time it is for you guys, I hope you guys have a good morning, a great afternoon, a beautiful evening, and a blessed night. Stay safe, everybody. Love y'all. Peace.